All right, so to end the pod with a little bit of a crazy take, but do you believe that people have visions? That visions are real? Do you think sorcery is real? Do you think witchcraft is real? Do you think all that is
Hmm. Well, there
okay?
were
Give me
people
an
in the
answer by
Bible.
tomorrow, bro.
There were the people in the. I'm thinking, bro. Like people understand
Okay?
that somebody's got to have a train of thought. Sorry for the dead air for 3 seconds.
Yeah, come
But
on,
there was
man.
people
Get
in
your
the
shit
Bible
together.
that had visions.
Yes,
So it's
prophecy.
like visions of the future. I know that sometimes I have dreams, and then those dreams end up happening in real life every now and then.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, whoa, this happened in a dream. And like sometimes it's to the T. Like sometimes it's craziness. And that's happened more than 20 times in my life.
Wow.
Um. So yeah, I don't like visions. Maybe like the other day, my mom's brother died. Right, like this is like last week, and my
Sorry to
mom.
hear that.
So my dad's waking me up in the morning. Yeah, no problem. So my dad's waking me up in the morning, and my dad hasn't woken me up ever in my entire life. Not for school, not for nothing. But either way, so my dad, like, I'm waking up, I'm like, what? And he just fucking smacks me with it. He goes, like my mom's brother's name. He just goes, died. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? Like, am I still dreaming? And so
Yeah, no.
he goes, go wake up your siblings. We gotta go tell your mom. And I'm like, all right, bet. So now we're all downstairs. I'm like, okay, let me pee first. Let me pee first, because I already know I'm about to like have to hug my mom for like 20 minutes. So I'm like in the bathroom taking a pee, and then my mom just like wakes up, walks into the kitchen, and is like, I can't sleep. My brother, I know something's wrong. And then my dad just like, and then like she knew, and then like my dad just like hits her with it. But
Yeah, it's crazy. And I
like
do think
that's pretty wild. But like he was also in the hospital at the time, but like she just like
yeah.
so it's like, but like the
Like
way
I mean,
she
of course,
worded it
like
was a
we
little
can think
crazy.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like we can think that, right? Like I've thought plenty of times that like something bad happened to like my family members. And I was wrong. Thank God, right? And like the day I'm right, which I hope that never comes, right? It's like, oh, I had a feeling that was gonna happen, you know? But like how many times have I been wrong? It's a problem with like visions. You don't really remember all the times you were wrong. You just remember the times you were right. But I do believe that it's real. Like I do believe some few select people do have visions and like do have those experiences that are just out of body, you know? And like for example, like when you go to the tarot card people, like those are witchcraft. Like some of those people like they invoke I think spirits and evil spirits that will tell you. Like even like the movies, right? Like the Exorcist movies that are based on true stories. And what I told you, I don't know if I told you this, but this guy I would watch a podcast from. He's a Christian guy, Sean McDowell, and he would interview this guy that studies exorcisms. And this guy would talk about how he went to this house, he like studied like this family, and like Netflix was there making a movie out of it. And he was in awe. And when he talked to the family and everything that happened, like even right now, it's like I'm short of breath, you know, like talking about that shit because like I truly believe it's real. That's why I don't touch any of that, like the Ouija board or any of that. I don't touch it because I don't want anything to do with that because I know like it's real. And you invoke like bad spirits, like I don't want anything to do with that, man. I truly
Yeah,
a
I've
hundred
used
percent
I've
believe it.
used a Ouija board before, and
Fuck that.
I've left. It was at my cousin's house, and I left that bitch freaking son of the cross. I was doing everything. I was praying about it for weeks, bro. I'm never touching another Ouija board because I'm sitting there looking at my
Yeah,
cousin. Right, it's me and my little cousin. He's like a year younger than me. I'm like, bro, because we start asking questions and it starts moving, and I'm like, are you messing with me? Because I'm not moving it. And he goes, I'm not moving it. And it just like I still don't know to this day if he was moving it.
I mean, of course, like there's that little part of you that's like,
Yeah.
well, was he moving it? But would he have known the answers?
Yeah, I know. I don't even really remember what we asked it.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like some of these people, like my stepmom and like her family in Mexico, like they're really into that shit. And they would tell me about some of the stories like that would happen to them, and I would be fucking terrified when they would tell me it. Like like sometimes they would wake up and they would see like their grandma just sitting there, like in this rocking chair and just rocking, rocking. Like I'm getting chills just talking about it. Rocking, rocking, rocking. And then like she goes to get like water, comes back, grandma gone. And she was wide awake, like wide awake. And like
Wait, so her
I've heard
grandma was
like
never
plenty.
there?
Her grandma was never there. Her grandma had passed away.
Oh my gosh.
And I've heard a couple of stories like that, like similar to the
Dude,
sense
we
where like
used to
they
think
see
my old
somebody.
house was haunted. Like my
Yeah,
not
bro.
my old
I would have
house,
not gone to your old house. I would not have
like
gone to
my
your old
old
house.
old house back
Way, bro.
way back in the day. Just weird shit was always happening there. But the only thing that I ever saw was I watched a cup. We used to have bunk beds, right? And it was like the metal ones that was like three different colors. It was like red, blue, and yellow. And I don't even know why I mentioned that. Just in case anybody else out there has had these similar this similar bunk bed. It was like metal and it was
Yeah, because I give a fuck about
had a
your cups, bro.
had a
All right,
blue
go ahead.
ladder, whatever. Yellow railings and there was like a post on it where we'd always put our cups. And me and my brother were just up there playing games. We were at the top bunk. He had his water here, and I had my water here, like at two different ends of the bed. And we were just sitting there, and we were like, bro, we had to have been like 4 and 6. So like, I don't even think my
And you
controller.
remember this. You
I
remember
don't.
this vividly.
Yeah. Well, we've always talked about it, and I just like remember it happening and just being like so scared. But because like I don't even think my controller was ever actually even plugged in. Like that's how young I was. Like it was. I think it was just my two older brothers playing games. But either way, regardless, fuck them. But regardless, one of the cups, my brother's cup on the post, just like we weren't rocking the bed, like we weren't even really heavy enough to rock it. Just falls off the bed, lands perfectly, and we're like 6 feet in the air. Lands perfectly upright, not a single drop of water spilled, and it like slammed on the ground, like boom. And we all just like I looked at it, my older brother looked at it, and then we were just like, what the fuck was that? And we would not stop telling my mom it was a ghost. And it was just, but like my sister always claims to have heard something like banging and like because we used to have a laundry chute in that house. You know what a laundry chute is?
Dude, that shit is scary. Like,
And
I don't even like talking about things like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because that would just terrify me, bro. Have I told you about my dream? How, like, one time I was asleep, right? This is like the only dream I've had where, like, I vividly remember, like, one of. And I was asleep, and I remember just, like, being pulled, like, out of my bed, like, almost by, like, one of, like, the devil, like, the devil. And I felt like I was getting pulled and he kept pulling me and like it felt like Jesus kept like pulling me down. And then I'm like I remember that so vividly because like 2 seconds later I wake up and I'm sweating and I'm fucking sweating and I'm like did that just happen? Like I have no clue. I was so scared. I don't know. Like that was like the closest thing like I've had to like an experience like that where I was just fucking terrified. Terrified. And I think it is 100% real. I think people do encounter situations like that, and I think when you go like play with the Ouija board or do certain things like go to get your tarot cards read or something like that, like you invoke these spirits and just don't do it.
oh yeah,
I
tarot
firmly
card
believe
readings
that that's
are,
true.
yeah. I don't know if they're bullshit, but it's definitely like if it is real, that's the devil's work for sure.
1,000%, 1,000%. I think most of them are bullshit, but I think there are a few that is 1,000% like the devil's work, man.